TechTimeRadio.com.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, have you ever heard of turbo debt?
No, what is that? Something to get me into debt faster?
No, turbo debt is not to get you in debt faster. It's to help you get out of debt. Do you have over $10,000 in credit card, personal loans, medical, or payday loans?
Of course I have debt. That's the American way.
Au contraire, mon frere. Turbo debt will give you the option to break the debt cycle and start putting money in your pocket.
That's awesome.
Over 70% of Americans die with credit card debt. Do not let this happen to you. Turbo debt will give you an option to break the debt cycle and start putting money in your pocket.
That's awesome.
If you have over $10,000 in credit card debt and personal loans, medical or payday loans, they can help. Go to turbodebt.com/techtime. Again, that's turbodebt.com/techtime, all capitalized, for a free consultation today. Turbo Debt is a proud sponsor of this week's episode of Tech Time Radio.
Broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Well, welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, Technology News of the Week, the show for the everyday person talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. Each week, our show covers the weekly top technology subjects without any political agenda. We verify the facts, and we do it with a sense of humor in less than 60 minutes. And of course, with a little whiskey on the side. We live stream, of course, during the show on 5 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We encourage you to visit us online at TechTimeRadio.com. Again, that's TechTimeRadio.com. Or you can become a Patreon supporter at Patreon.com/TechTimeRadio. I'm Nathan Mumm, your host, a technologist with over 30 years of technology expertise working for Fortune 500 companies across the country. My co-host here, Mike Raday, is an award-winning author, originally from Arizona. Mike's a human behavior expert living in the Seattle area with a master's degree in forensic psychology. Mike is here to keep me from geeking out while providing insightful information into the human behavior and how it interacts with technology. We are two friends from different backgrounds, but bring the best technology show possible every week for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. Welcome, everyone. Let's get ready to start today's show.
Now on today's show.
All right, today on the show, the godfather of AI leaves Google amid ethical concerns about how AI is being taken care of at Google. We have some inside information that we're going to be talking about that. And then forget T-Mobile Tuesdays. Every day is free Mobile Tuesdays with your data, as T-Mobile is back with yet another data breach for the second time this year. I have T-Mobile, and every Tuesday I get this app that says T-Mobile Tuesdays. We thank you for being a subscriber. And so this, today I opened it up and I was like,
brand new. You just got to visit the office.
Yeah,
when you're coming up here.
Yeah, well, I'm like, great. My data's out there again for more people to see. And then Twitter is like a roller coaster. We're going to explain why.
I don't know if we need to explain.
Well, that's my analogy. We're going to explain why. And then finally, we have our segment, Two Truths and a Lie. So I have 3 headlines ripped from the world of technology that will make you go, And we're going to have Mike and Odie play and see if they can figure out which one of those is incorrect and which one of those 2 articles are correct. All right. In addition, we have our standard features, of course. Mike's mesmerizing moment, This Week in Technology, and a possible Nathan Nugget. My Nathan Nugget today is good, so we'll get some time to get to that. So it's a little rant time.
How do you know it's good?
Well, because it is. It's called Nathan's rant time. That's what it should be.
Yeah. Family Guys, grind your gears.
There you go. As always, we have our pick of the day whiskey tastings during our commercials to see if our selected whiskey pick of the day gets 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up at the end of the show. So sit back, raise a glass, and welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Now it's time for the latest headlines in the world of technology.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right. Story number one. The godfather of AI leaves Google amid ethical concerns. All right. We're going to go right now to play our audio to talk a little bit more about the story.
The godfather of artificial intelligence has quit his job at Google, warning of the dangers of AI. Dr. Geoffrey Hinton's pioneering research on deep learning and neural networks has paved the way for current AI systems like ChatGPT. In a lengthy interview with the New York Times, Dr. Hinton said he now regretted his work and is worried that AI technology will flood the internet with misinformation.
The kind of intelligence we're developing is very different from the intelligence we have. We're biological systems, and these are digital systems. And the big difference is that with digital systems, you have many copies of the same set of weights, the same model of the world. And all these copies can learn separately, but share their knowledge instantly. So it's as if you had 10,000 people, and whenever one person learned something, everybody automatically knew it.
Google responded in a statement saying, "We remain committed to a responsible approach to AI."
All right.
But is there a responsible?
So I got some inside information into Google.
All right. What is it?
So Geoffrey Hinton, he had a large division that reported to him at Google, and he was kind of this savant of knowledge for AI. So all these people had different direct managers, but Google had a 10-article, what do you call it, like a thesis or some type of statement of this is what we're going to use for AI, and this is what we're going to follow as we develop AI here at Google.
Like a roadmap?
Kind of like a roadmap, but kind of like rules.
Kind of like
rules.
Roadmap?
Yeah, kind of like an ethical roadmap.
Okay.
Here's the rules. Number one, we're not going to do this. Number two, we're not going to do this. Number three, we're not going to do this. And this is a part Geoffrey Hinton worked a lot on creating these rules. His whole group did this. Now, Google is in a battle with Microsoft for the new web interface, as we call Web 2.0. And they are losing. Bard is nowhere near ready to be released to the market as ChatGPT has. And so Google's under extreme pressure. Now, Geoffrey was not planning to retire. This is not like he was already going to be sunset in this month and he was going to have this taken care of. This is a sudden reaction to a bunch of changes that are going on in Google right now, of having to compete against Microsoft's ChatGPT.
Well, didn't he? Wasn't he working on ChatGPT at one point?
No. So he has worked on AI specifically with Google to compete against ChatGPT. So he was working to compete, but he's worked in the environment of AI learning and this process of learning of what we have for over 15 years. So he's a clear leader in this area. And his big concern is not that it's going to have an immediate effect on this drudge work of people, but that it's outright going to replace people's jobs with incorrect information. I know.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he's.
I wonder where I heard that before.
Well, so it's kind of a, so he kind of, I don't know the whole story. My insider gave me only certain information, but I believe that from my source, Geoffrey Hinton went and said, hey, we need to continue to adhere, I don't care what's going on, to these strategies that we have here that we've developed at Google on how we're going to develop and have AI be a part of that. And senior management is looking after their bottom line and money, and they have decided to change the playbook on how they're going to compete specifically with AI.
What a surprise.
So money kind of wins out over...
Money always wins.
Right. So what's your feeling on this, Mike?
What's my feeling on which part?
Of somebody quitting. So he must have had an ethical dilemma.
He
probably has plenty of money.
I think it's great. I think it's great that he's sticking to his ethical guidelines. Okay. The problem I have is that it's the same thing with Oppenheimer when he worked on the atomic bomb.
Yeah.
Right. They developed this information or this process or whatever it is, and they know ahead of time there's a problem because it can be used for nefarious purposes or whatever. And it's great that he's taking a moral stance about it now, but what happened? Where was that moral stance 15 years ago
Well,
when they started developing this idea?
well, I think
Now
that Google probably adhered everything to it until probably the last month or two, right?
That sounds like that's a plausible idea that here Microsoft has gotten a hold of this popular AI chatbot and is now kicking the crap out of them in this realm. And so, yeah, it makes perfect sense that money grubbing people that are in charge would be like, oh, look, all we need to do is get rid of these ethical concerns, and then we can do this and this and this. We've talked about this on several
Episodes.
fronts.
Yep.
You know, it's the same thing with genetic development and pretty much everything we've talked about has this ethical component, and that people tend to take that away when it becomes a problem. It's all very well and good to have an ethical roadmap when you're not in survival mode, but like humans are, as soon as survival mode comes into it, maintaining those ethical moral standards becomes very, very problematic.
All right. So how do you as a listener feel right now? Jump onto Twitter, hashtag TechTime Radio, as long as Twitter's up, and let us know how you feel with your concerns. I'll be reading them on the air. So again, that's hashtag TechTime Radio. If you feel that this is a good thing that he decided to leave for ethical reasons, or if you think this is a lot to do about nothing, we'd love to hear back from you. So make sure you reach out to us at hashtag TechTime Radio and let us know how we feel. All right, Mike, you got story number 2.
Okay. Well, this doesn't have a whole lot to do with human behavior, but there is a component, so we'll talk about it anyway. So we've all come through this pandemic. We've all been very accustomed to using Zoom every day, right?
I do, yeah.
Right, and so we're accustomed to this,
or Teams or whatever.
Yeah, and humans are getting what's called Zoom fatigue.
Yep.
But interestingly enough, lonely pet parrots using video chats may be finding friendship.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Parrots?
Pet parrots. Okay, so parrots, birds.
Yeah.
Right? These are very intelligent creatures with very highly social structures.
Okay.
And when we think about birds, we don't really think about the social aspects of animals. And we put them in situations where, they're alone or they don't have any interaction with others of their species.
Okay.
And so they can have negative behaviors or negative issues.
Okay.
Well, a recent study that took 18 parrots and examined whether video calls could help them fulfill those social needs has turned up some pretty positive things.
So you're saying that they're doing a Zoom call with parrots?
They are having parrots do Zoom calls.
Okay.
So
okay. Well, tell me more.
Like I said, they're socially complex, and they have intelligence which actually can surpass 6 and 7-year-old children in certain things like puzzle tasks and memory skills.
Okay.
And they have those needs. They have mental needs that aren't catered to very often by the people in which
I probably if I own a bird and I go to work, I probably right. I mean, the bird sits in the cage for 8 hours. I come home, I let it out maybe for a little bit. Hopefully not, because it'll fly around my house, and I can't stand birds anyways. But okay, yeah.
Okay, well, don't say that out loud. You might get in trouble.
No, that's okay. So more parrot people. Okay, I get you.
Anyway, what these researchers found was that video calling technology could reproduce some of the social benefits of living in a flock, because we all know that birds tend to flock together.
Okay.
Right. What they did was they taught them to ring a bell, after which a tablet would be presented to them. 1 or 2 images of fellow parrots would appear on the phone or tablet, and using their beaks or their tongues, the parrots would then choose which one that they wanted to interact with.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And to see how much the parrots actually wanted to spend time on, they measured the engagement and agency. And the interesting thing was how quickly they began using that system.
Okay.
And one of the things that they were worried about is the competitive nature would overtake. There are some birds out there that when they see reflections of themselves, they'll attack whatever reflective surface they're looking at.
Yeah, my cat does that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my cat looks in the mirror at night, and all of a sudden he gets all excited and starts attacking himself.
Yeah. Well, instead, they saw a lot of pro-social behaviors that they would potentially see between birds that were together in the wild. So these mirroring behaviors where they might move in the same kind of way, dancing and singing together, they really seem to, as one owner said, come alive during the calls.
Okay.
The researchers said that while there was potential for connection between the animals through the screen, there were also unknown risks of exposing the birds to the new technology, so they had to be careful in training the owners to monitor the video chats closely. But they did conclude that the video calling technology could reproduce some of the social benefits of living in a flock, even between parrot species, so between different parrot species.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And as of the research being finished, they report that some of the birds still ask to chat with their pals.
Really? So after it's all said and done, they still got their favorite bird that they want to go hang out with?
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
they're
That's really cute.
they're forming pro-social relationships. But some parrots can live to be 150 years old. So we're talking about
Lifelong partners.
Yeah.
we're talking about lifelong things. And I don't know if you've ever seen somebody who owned a parrot and left them alone. They can do like a dog that you leave alone and just eat your walls.
Oh, really? So they just go really disastrous.
They can become very destructive and things like that. So this is an interesting. This is more relevant to people who own parrots, but that's
So
what we're talking about
now
today.
there are these channels on television.
Human parrot and video interactions.
So we have a cat, and every once in a while we'll turn on. There's like a station out there for dogs on the television. There's a station out there for cats. So like we'll leave them on, and if we leave like birds on, the thing it just goes crazy. I mean, he's just like jumping up our cat all around just on the television itself.
Duh. That's because your cat wants to kill everything that's on the screen.
So
Is that what you do? Is that how you torment the poor cat? You turn on little bird videos and let the cat try.
the wife does it. I don't know anything about that. All right. Okay. Here we go. All right. Oh,
that's what what cats are doing while they're hanging out purring at you, right?
What's that?
They're waiting for you to die so they have a meal.
Is that? Yeah, my cat's a bad cat. He doesn't. I don't know why we have cats. He should go kill.
Everybody
moles.
should have cats.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They're pretty cool animals.
Story number 3. T-Mobile is back. That's kind of their ad. Have you ever seen their ad? T-Mobile is back. The whatever they call themselves, the unfollowed or the unchained network. Well, let's take a look at our reporter on just how back T-Mobile is.
T-Mobile has officially disclosed a second data breach. They discovered that attackers had gained access to personal information of many customers. This is the second one this year, not as bad as the previous. The previous one, I think, impacted tens of millions of customers. This one only impacting 836 customers. And so while it's not a great number of people, the information they did get of those people is going to be heavily compromising and put them in the opportunity for identity theft.
Oh, right. Crap. What's the release moniker that they released?
Okay, well, hang on. So it's actually 37 million. So great news reporter. He had a little bit. 37 million customers had their data compromised earlier this year. T-Mobile suffered another breach that they announced that reveals that a total of 836 customers were affected by the breach that took place between February and March of this year. Well, that small number of people may sound reassuring. The data that was compromised, though, was major damage. So it wasn't just like this person likes this. It's essentially they got less than 1,000 people's social security numbers, phone numbers, contact information, date of birth, what they called, who they called, and all of that information available for free on the T-Mobile breach.
Is that more information than they got in the previous breach?
The previous breach.
This is a smaller breach, but it's more significant.
Correct.
And
at least is what they've announced. So it could be even more significant. So what happens is Bleeping Computers did the research on it. It's a website out there, a very good actually website. We use it for some of our content that we talk about on the radio show. They actually did the full diagnostics. They're actually the ones that reached out to T-Mobile and said, we have this information on your breach, and then T-Mobile said yes. I guess that did happen.
T-Mobile didn't come back and go,
we
well,
informed those
breach,
users already, and
they didn't get a hold of customer relevant information.
But I'll tell you this: T-Mobile has clearly no security on any of their. AT&T hasn't been breached for like years, so they spend a good amount of time doing it. Verizon, it gets breached all the time. It's just a matter of moments.
Are they
now,
not
right?
breached, or did they just hide it better than everybody else?
Well, there's a lot of money out there now for people to find when breached information gets on the dark web. So people want to report it, but they haven't been able to find AT&T with a major breach for a while.
Okay.
So if you want to have your information secure on a cellular carrier, I think AT&T is the winner right now. T-Mobile will, I'm sure, get breached at least 2 or 3 more times before the end of the year, but they're still the cheapest, so I will continue to use their service.
Yeah, that's good to know. Like, all right. I don't care about my information as long as I get cheap service.
Hey, you know what? I've always said that. I got so much information out there, flood it. That's what I do. You might as well have all the information for me. I still will check your stuff.
I don't really believe that any one of us that are in today's society does not have information out there that they don't want out there. Somebody has our information.
Correct.
And it doesn't matter who says they don't.
Whether it's our state, whether it's our country, whether it's another country, there's information out there. There's a profile of Nathan somewhere with a bunch of information, and there's a microday profile.
It's good. It's good to know that
that's what we got.
That,
all right,
it's just a big ocean of everybody's information.
Yeah, just hey, I guess you pay for quality, and you have to pay for service. If you pay for cheap phone service, you're gonna get breached.
This is a really good plug for unplugging the internet.
Unplugging the internet?
And going back to writing checks.
You know what?
And check fraud.
If we just didn't have this thing called the internet, maybe we'll be talking about that a little bit later today.
Maybe.
All right. Well, that ends our top technology stories of the week. Moving on, we have a long time segment after the commercial breaks, which is 2 truths and a lie. I have 3 articles here that Mike and Odie have not seen. They're not allowed to now Google as if we go into this commercial break on any of the information. They're going to have to decide which of these 3 stories are true. 2 of them are true, and which one's a lie. So we'll see after the break. You're listening to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. See you in a bit. Hello, listeners. We're excited here at TechTime Radio, aren't we, Mike?
Oh, no.
We have an announcement to make starting in June. We're really excited to be a part of an internet radio station. That's right. Coming up in June, you will still be able to listen to us live here at Kixie 880 and KKNW and all of our affiliate stations, but you'll be able to listen to us at 8 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday now. We look forward to this new opportunity to provide you TechTime Radio every weekday. And again, you can always catch us online at techtimeradio.com. Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Tech Time is a weekly hour technology show that talks about current technology in a simple format without having to geek out. Brought to you by myself, Nathan Mumm, and Mike Day. We just had our first whiskey tasting during the commercial break, and now let me tell you about what we are sipping in our pick of the day. Here in the show today, we have chosen the Old Granddad Bourbon, 80 proof, $16.99 a bottle. This is value for your bottle price.
This is Nathan. I will get it.
The Old Granddad is specifically formulated for more rye for a lighter, spicier flavor. Enjoy the potent head flavors of oak, pears, apricots, and dark caramel. This medium-bodied bourbon shows some sweet vanilla, but more evidently, it has the peppery spiciness described with the notes of cloves and cinnamon. I like that peppery spice. I that hits you at the end of your drink. You taste it; it's kind of smooth. It's no real bitter taste to start with.
There's a rye burn at the beginning, but it
pretty minor.
Finishes really well. I really like the finish on this.
All right, the company is Beam Suntory. So this is a Jim Beam distillery, located, of course, in Claremont, Kentucky. It's a straight bourbon. It's 80 proof, 63% corn, 27% rye. Well, we've had some 30% ryers, so this is a little bit less on that, and 10% malted barley.
This isn't bad.
All right.
Or I may be becoming a rye fan after all these years.
I think you may be becoming a rye fan.
It's possible.
There you go. Okay, well, that was our whiskey tasting. After our first whiskey tasting is complete, now let's get ready to start our feature segment.
And now we have 2 truths and a lie.
All right. For those that do not know how this game plays, this essentially is a game in the studio. So we had a lot of stories that I was very interested in this week.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, Mike did a fantastic job hosting the show. I was at a security conference in Florida, and so you hosted the show.
Where all those nerds were like throwing down and stuff.
No, we were all getting excited about geeky little nerdy stuff. So let me just tell you about that.
Technology brawling.
So we had a bunch of articles that came up. I sent myself a whole bunch. So the way to get these articles in here is these are all articles that could be very close to being true, but one of these is not true. One of these titles may be correct, but the information in there is not. So I'm going to give you the titles first.
Okay.
Then I'm going to read to you the articles, and then you're going to tell me which one you think is a truth, or what you want to choose the lie. So the truth, you can pick the two that you think are true. That's great. But you really want to tell me which one you think a lie is. If I can fool both of you, I get a point. And since we started in 2003, this is the first one we've done. So I'll be the winner. If you get the lie correctly, then you can be the winner. And if you and Odie both get it correctly, then you can both be a winner, or Odie could be a winner. So here we go.
You can elbow drop them in the hallway.
Number one heading. Lego recreated a VHS copy of The Little Mermaid. Headline number 2. ChatGPT becomes a legal minister. Number 3. Apple and Google band together to stop AirTag stalking.
Okay.
So here we go. Here's the logo. Lego recreated a VHS copy of The Little Mermaid. Lego's Disney villain icons doesn't officially release until June 1st, but is available for pre-order right now from the Lego website for $130. The villain's icon sets as a VHS copy of The Little Mermaid featuring Ursula on the label, complete with a lid that can be opened to reveal a film strip highlighting the best moments of the animated film. You know what you're not supposed to do in a VCR? You click on the thing and you lift up the film. This is actually built so that you can click on it, open it up, and there's a film strip in there.
Okay.
This is not how the VHS technology was supposed to work. Opening the lid of a cassette is not advised, but it's almost impossible to resist, and a fun Easter egg for this set. Okay, so that was story number 1. Story number 2, ChatGPT becomes a legal minister. ChatGPT becomes a legal minister in Canada. In general, becoming a legal minister involves completing a training program or course of study, being ordained by a religious organization or institution, and obtaining any necessary license or certifications. But for online ordination services, all you have to do is a simple test. This allows you to become an ordained minister without completing formal schooling. And guess what? Marry Me GPT is offering online marriages and even producing legal marriage certificates after completing an online meeting that is accepted in most provinces in Canada.
Okay.
Number 3, Apple and Google band together to stop AirTag stalking. So Apple and Google announced an alliance where the two companies and several others will band together and create an industry standard to help prevent unwanted tracking of AirTag and Bluetooth tracking devices. Since being released in 2021, Apple's AirTags quickly gained popularity for tracking items, pets, luggage, bikes, keys, and more. However, the small $30 coin-sized tracker quickly gained negative attention due to the unwanted stalking and being able to have bad actors toss these into purses, cars, and even adding in security issues regarding privacy concerns. To make matters worse, initially Apple didn't play nicely with the millions of Android devices and phones in the market, and Apple eventually released an AirTag Android app at the end of 2021. Google then started working on integrating Bluetooth tracker notifications and other alerts to directly help the Android operating system. According to Apple and Google's joint press release, the two are working on production software that will implement unauthorized tracking detections and alerts for iOS and Android. Party members can suggest ideas and feedback and help shape the industry-specific standards. All right, so those are the 3 stories. All very interesting stories, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got Lego recreating a VHS copy of The Little Mermaid, and their new series is coming on out. You have ChatGPT becoming a legal minister. You must be excited about that, Mr. ChatGPT fan. And you have Apple and Google banding together to help stop AirTag stalking. So Apple and Google are working together. Now, which one of these do you think is the lie?
I'm going to go with the Chat GPT becoming a legal minister.
Okay.
Legal minister.
Well,
I'm going to say that it could probably pass the minister test, but at becoming legal, that is the. I think that's
becomes
the
a legal
issue.
minister. That's the tagline.
That's yeah. I'm going to say that's the false one.
Okay.
And maybe because I'm biased.
That's all right.
There may be a bias there, but the other two, those two sound fairly okay.
Okay. All right. This is the Chat GPT thing.
I'm gonna say the Google and Apple coming together.
Google and Apple coming
with the
together.
AirTag. Yeah.
See, okay, because Google and Apple are competitors against them.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
All right, so nobody said number one. Lego recreated a VHS copy of the Little Mermaid. That is correct.
Yeah,
that is a true story. That's out right now. The Villains Icon set not only has the Little Mermaid, but they also have Sleeping Beauty. A bunch of these cassette tapes that come on up, and if you lift up the front folder, you can see graphics for this. So that is correct. Now we're going between ChatGPT becoming a legal minister, and according to Apple, so you just don't like ChatGPT. I get it. There's a little bias there.
There's some bias there, but there's definitions on what what legalities are. So I don't understand. I'm not a lawyer.
Okay,
but ChatGPT becoming a legal minister sounds like it's a lie.
Okay. All right. Well, Odie, you guessed a correct article.
Woo!
According to Apple, no, you guessed the correct one. You didn't get the lie.
Oh,
Apple
what?
and Google
I
are
got the
working
lie.
together. Mr. Gourdet, ChatGPT becomes a legal minister. Now, someone actually applied for the Marry Me GPT and is working right now on getting ChatGPT to become a legal minister, but it is not legal at this time because to be a minister, you have to be in their oath. Even online, you have to be able to have what they consider a soul. So to be a minister,
There you go.
you have to be considered a soul. And at this time, no AI has a classification of a soul.
That is going to be the next, and that's probably what they're trying. They're either trying to change the law so that it doesn't have to have a soul, or they're going to start trying to prove that it has a soul.
So they are working on this, but it is not quite there yet. So, Mr. Gourdet, congratulations. You got the win. Odie, we both lose. So
okay.
Did I give you any signs when I was reading it? Did you?
No, you did really well.
Okay.
That was really difficult for me to. Of course, I'm watching you from the side now.
Yeah.
I'm not watching you across the
table
anymore.
okay.
That one was more difficult.
Probably because that story is so close to being true. Because the guy is working on it right now. It wasn't really difficult. It was just easy to change the title to be official instead of working on it at this time. So
yeah. Well, like I said, I'm pretty sure the ChatGPT can pass the test, but legally it has to meet legal standards and.
At least at this time. Just think of that. You could get married online with a ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's just going to make life awesome.
Does that make you feel good?
No.
My whole mindset was like, can't you marry like an anime character and stuff?
Yes, but
that's what I was
the person that officiates that has to be a legal.
Has to have a soul.
Has to have it be a minister.
For now.
For now. So it's the classification is soul, which is a very interesting type of deal. So of all the things that they do, that is the one classification. Online, all these type of deals, you have to have a soul is what they have as
okay. Well, I was thinking more of where it had to be at least a person.
I don't even think
because illegal.
So what if you're a person with no soul, then you can't be a minister either?
Well,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
There's that.
All right. Well, that ends our segment.
I don't know anybody who doesn't have a soul. Well,
actually, you know two people.
I know a couple of people.
All right, that ends our segment. Two Truths and a Lie. Up next, we have This Week in Technology. So now would be a great time to enjoy a little whiskey on the side, as we will be doing so during the break. You're listening to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm. See you in a few minutes.
This is Mark
and Greg
for Copiers Northwest
with a terrific offer
called Printer Care Plus.
It's simple. Buy HP printer cartridges from Copiers Northwest and we'll service your current printers for free.
That sounds too good to be true.
It's made possible due to our HP Copiers Northwest relationship.
Copiers Northwest is an HP Platinum partner,
one of only two in the entire Northwest.
And now with Printer Care Plus,
Copiers Northwest will provide free printer service
as long as they purchase genuine HP cartridges from Copiers Northwest.
That's right. IT departments no longer have to service printers.
or fix paper jams with Printer Care Plus.
They can focus on more strategic initiatives.
And let our experienced technicians keep their HP printers up and running.
Sounds like a love-love relationship for IT departments.
Don't get too carried away. So how do they get more details on Printer Care Plus?
Call Copiers Northwest today, 206-282-1200, or visit copiersnw.com.
Copiers Northwest. New ideas, new solutions.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right, we're going back to April 30th, 1993. What were you doing in 1993, Mr. Gourdet?
That was right before I got married.
Okay, same here. That's kind of like right in that same time.
I was working, living alone, working at a small place where I was helping persons with disability.
Okay, all right. So April 30th, 1993, at the urging of Tim Berners-Lee, the creator of the World Wide Web protocol, the directors of CERN.
That wasn't Al Gore?
Well, hang on. No, you're gonna learn about it. Releases the source code of the World Wide Web into public domain, making it freely available to anyone without licensing fees. The decision to make the World Wide Web software and protocols freely available is considered by some now as the single most important moment in history. Specifically with the internet, in fact, some historians mark it as the birth of the web. The web made it simple for anyone to navigate to the internet. All users had to do is launch a program called a browser, type in a URL, and hit return. This began the internet's transformation into a vibrant online canvas that we use today.
No more bulletin boards.
That's right. Well, that's
what I was doing in 1993.
You doing a bulletin board service?
Board.
Same here.
Yeah.
Same here. Oh, 1992, 93. Bulletin board services. My phone would ring. I had 2 lines into my house. It was perfect. Well, with that, anyone now could build their own website with pictures, videos, and sound. They could even send visitors to other sites using hyperlinked words or phrases underlined in blue. This became one of the web's most game-changing features, putting different corners of our digital knowledge base at the click of a mouse. No patents, no fees. The World Wide Web was the brainchild of Tim, a 37-year-old researcher at the physics labs in Switzerland at the company called CERN, which is now known to be doing a bunch of medical advancements for the company still to this day, who says, let's make this free for everyone to use. Just think if CERN
you didn't mention Al at all.
I didn't mention Al Gore.
I thought Al made the internet.
No, Al Gore did not make the internet. And you know what? I bet you he wishes that comment never was done. Otherwise, he probably would have been president.
Yes, I'm sure he's probably kicking himself in the. Well, especially after today, if he hears that, we might get a call from him.
That's right.
That might get upset at us for talking.
It is Tim and the research that they did at CERN that's absolutely created the web. Well, that was This Week in Technology. If you ever wanted to watch some tech time history with over 2 years, actually it needs to be 3 years now, of video podcasts and blog information, you can now visit techtimeradio.com to watch our older shows or join the Tech Timers Facebook group to talk with us live all the time. And again, hashtag TechTime Radio on if you want to provide us feedback on what you think regarding the AI sudden decision by Google AI Master to step down for ethical reasons. We're going to take a commercial break here. When we return, we have the Mark Mumble Whiskey Review, our technology fail, along with a Nathan Nugget. We'll see you after the break.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
The segment we've been waiting all week for, Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
All right. Well, Mark has let us know that today is May the 2nd, which is Harry Potter Day, International Harry Potter Day.
Oh no, dude, my wife is a huge Harry Potter fan. Oh, is today the day they go back into the
bringing down the mic?
Is that today that they go through?
What's so significant about today?
Yeah, what's
I don't know.
Oh,
well, okay.
Today is International.
Today's not the
Harry
first day
Potter
of school though for Harry Potter.
Well, I have no idea
No,
why
that's
it's
in
Harry
this-
Potter Day.
that's in
Mark
the
did not
Like
inform
August,
me
right?
of
Yeah.
why it's Harry Potter Day.
Oh well, he should have given us more information.
He just said, "Grab your wand and let us revel in the magical history of Harry Potter."
Okay,
If you want to celebrate in style,
yeah,
there are Birdie's Bots every flavor beans,
okay.
chocolate frogs, butterbeer, or whiskey. To be careful of fire whiskey. That's it. He didn't say why.
Well,
Maybe they wanted to put it next to May the 4th.
Oh, I found why.
oh, why is it?
Why?
It marks the anniversary of the Battle of Hogwarts, which is the event that ended the Second Wizarding War.
Oh,
So it's a thing for J.K. Rowling fans.
okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
all right.
Well, there you go. So
you're
that's
dorky.
why May the 2nd,
There you go.
and it was not May the 4th.
No.
May the 4th is a very important day.
That is, that's more important than Harry Potter Day.
I agree.
May 4th is
I'm gonna get hate mail now.
you are. May 4th is a Star Wars celebration.
That's right.
And then there's
Okay.
Revenge of the 5th too. You know that, right?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, we got that.
May
yeah.
5th. So you got
Okay.
you got May 4th, which is May the 4th be with
That's
you.
a little more nerdy than I get.
Revenge of the 5th.
Revenge of the 5th is
Okay.
a little more nerdy than I get.
Okay, alrighty.
Okay. Let's talk about the whiskey, shall we?
Yeah, that's good.
Basil Hayden Sr., known as Old Granddad to the generations that followed, made bourbon the way he wanted to, which sounds like a granddad thing to do.
It does.
A little curmudgeon-y kind of get off my lawn type of thing. He went against the traditional grain of the time and chose to distill his bourbon with a high percentage of rye. This way of crafting bourbon was likely something he handed down to his son and in turn his grandson. That was Colonel R.B. Hayden, who would justly name his bourbon after his old granddad. Put his picture on every bottle. Is there a picture on there?
Yeah, there's a
There
picture on
is.
there.
He looks like a granddad. First bottled in 1882, very little has changed about it. Old Granddad is currently released in 3 different bottling proofs, 80, 100, and 114 proof. It is a beloved bottom shelf bourbon. You are just a beloved Nathan bourbon.
It is I have never tried it before, but I'm very excited that this is a under $20 bourbon I really like.
Yeah. Well, if you are just getting into bourbon and love the rye spice, this is a great starter. Otherwise, bourbon drinks avoid this and lean towards the 100 proof, with the 114 proof being Mark's picking on his bar. So he likes the
So he's got the 100.
he's got the good stuff.
He's got the good stuff. He's got the higher shelf, the higher price,
The higher proof.
I think it's like $79 or $89 that bottle. I was looking online and I'm like, wow, this is expensive. And then I was like, oh no, that's the higher proof.
Well, that
version.
makes sense for his bar.
Yeah.
I was wondering why he would put a $16 bourbon on.
I think Mark's bar at his house is probably everything is probably at least $100 or more on his shelf that he displays, and underneath he probably has some $50 bottles that he.
No, it keeps those in the kitchen cabinets.
Or the kitchen cabinet. There you go. That's right. That's right. All right, Mark. Thanks for that mumble. Mike, thanks for reading that. Now, whiskey technology is always greatly paired with. Whiskey and technology is always greatly
Yeah, you
paired,
get that
like
right,
peanut butter and jelly. Remember last time I did something else. Now I'm going to try to do pairings.
You're going to do
So
pairings.
I'm going to
like
start
peanut
doing
butter, you
pairings
get
as I
peanut-
do that.
I think we talked. I think I said this last week, and I was like, "What the heck does this mean?"
Yeah, so we're going to keep on pairing stuff. All
Okay.
right, well, let's get ready for our technology fail of the week.
We are out of time. Congratulations. You're a failure.
Oh, I failed. Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
All right.
More Twitter stuff, I think.
That's right. A Twitter outage logs you out and won't let you back in. Essentially, Twitter has had a few outages that have logged many users out of the website and prevents them from logging back into the site itself. At approximately 3:45 p.m. Eastern yesterday, Twitter users worldwide reportedly suddenly were logged out of their desktop website
Okay.
apps,
That's the
with
desktop.
thousands reporting issues on Down Detector. So the desktop website. So it wasn't their phone, because your phone doesn't necessarily.
Yeah, that's why when you were talking about this, I was like, I don't get it. I'm still logged in.
Well, yeah, it's because your phone probably wasn't queuing it, whereas the website would be continuously updating it. So that makes sense. This does not appear to be the same for other people that have been infected by repeated cycles of logins and logouts. No issues were listed on Twitter's status page or support account. Also to note, this function seems to not be updating on a regular basis. Maybe this department was part of the few of those deep cuts that Elon Musk did. That's the Nathan jab.
I don't know.
Kind of
you
like
don't think he's just standing there by a switch and going, watch this, click.
He just
Wow, click.
So over the last 24 hours, there was a major outage that was at about 8:30 p.m. on Sunday. There was a huge outage again at about 6 a.m. and at these are all Eastern Standard Times. And then right about 3 o'clock, there was a huge outage that had over 3,000 outages reported to the website Down Detector. All right, so note to self, Twitter, if you're laying off everybody, please keep the lights on enough.
Oh, they're laying off everybody.
use-
They're just laying off users and
we talked about that
And
last
engineers.
couple weeks. Please at least keep your service up and running and keep your essentials working. Well, we're going to head out to our last commercial break. When we return, we still have Mike's mesmerizing moment brought to us by Story Coffee, a Nathan Nugget, and our pick of the day. So sit back and raise a glass. You're listening to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm.
How to See a Man About a Dog. It combines darkly comic short stories, powerful poems, and pulp fiction prose to create a heartbreaking and hilarious journey readers will not soon forget. Read How to See a Man About a Dog, collected writings, for free with Kindle Unlimited. Ebook available on Kindle, print copies available on Amazon The Bookpository, and more.
This is Mike's mesmerizing moment, presented by Story Coffee. Visit storycoffee.com. All right, here's your mesmerizing question. We talked about it last night.
What's my mesmerizing question?
Yeah, we talked about it last night at the production meeting. Is a computer to blame for AI, or is it the humans? So we all know that you're not the biggest fan of AI, or at least the AI with ChatGPT.
I think there's a lot of problems with AI that it doesn't necessarily mean it shouldn't be developed. It just shouldn't be out there like it is.
Okay.
Because there's some really disturbing stuff that's going on with AI right now.
Okay.
Right? And is it the computer to blame, or is it the humans to blame?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think I'm going to say?
Well, I think you're going to say humans, but I actually think a little bit of it has to do with the computer. If you can listen to the AI expert that just left Google, it's that he said the problem is the data set of these computers, instead of having you to learn, it's like kind of the Matrix scenario, right? Instead of you having to learn how to do boxing, and when you're in the Matrix, you're plugged into it, you just have it go through you, boom, everybody knows how to do this. So I think it's the computer issue.
Okay, now I can see where you would think that, but the reality of it is that's sort of a what would you say? It's sort of a platform for getting the data set. The computer is the platform for getting the data set, because these AI are integrating with other human inputted information. So all this information that's in the computer system is input by people.
Yeah.
The first problem is that humans create the algorithms for the AI.
Okay.
And the problem with that is that humans do not understand human behavior as much as we really would like to believe we do. Even I don't understand human behavior as much as I could.
Okay.
And I've been studying it for a long time.
Okay.
We don't understand the vagaries of how humans do certain things. We still don't even know how the brain works or why dreams exist. But we are assuming that there is some simple way that we can translate this into a mechanical language.
Okay.
The second piece to this is that the problem that we talked about earlier is that this AI system gathers data and instantly from different points around the world and instantly updates its learning, right?
Yep.
So that means that if you're talking to the chat bot, and what does everybody do with the chatbot?
Well, they ask you questions.
Do they go and have like a normal human conversation with it, or do they try and figure out what kind of weird stuff they can?
Well, you know what? So I used a chatbot this Saturday. I was trying to send a packet internationally to Portugal.
Right.
I came up with this error code that I needed to put in this custom code. I had no idea what to do. I searched for it online, couldn't find it. I literally went to ChatGPT on Bing, typed in, explain to me what this is. And it actually explained where I could go to find it on the government website, United States Customs, where to go, what to look it up. And I actually got my information. I just asked it like a regular person.
Yeah. So you're basically querying a giant database with this question. It wasn't a question about morality, or even intelligence. It was, hey, can you find this information? So it's like accessing a giant library, which I think is what's awesome about AI.
Okay.
The problem is when we start talking about those inconsequential, or not inconsequential, but those difficult to explain things like, what is morality?
Okay.
Because
isn't that something? Why would I, as a person, go to a computer and type in a morality question to a computer?
Because that's what we're going to be doing when you interact with the Chat GPT, just to see if it's like when we talked about the Google engineer that thought the AI was self-aware.
Yeah.
That guy is entering into a realm in which the human interaction wants to believe certain things. And because the Chat GPT thing is giving him back the information he's searching for, he's automatically coming up with these conclusions that, oh my God, this thing is real. When the Chat GPT thing is simply scraping information and running it through its diagnostic or its algorithms and saying, oh yeah, this is how I should respond to this. So what we know here is that if an AI can tell you all this stuff about how to get out of a speeding ticket, but it's also talking about taking over the world and killing every human on it. So that's the problem. It doesn't.
So it's the humans' fault that we created it and put the algorithms.
Humans created the algorithm, and then the problem with that is that they can't create something which they don't have limitations about. So it's very limited on how it works, based on the person that's doing it. And I guarantee you that the person who's creating the algorithm is not somebody who understands psychology per se.
Okay. That makes sense.
It doesn't mean that they don't have an understanding of it. It's just that even we're still trying to figure out ourselves.
That's
I
true.
mean, you're just ourselves is a big mess.
Yeah. And you know what? When I was 30, I knew everything. And now I'm in
the
my
older-
50s
the older-
and I know nothing.
Yeah, the older
Then
I
you
get, the less I know.
That's
So-
right. All right.
But that's the problem. I think the computer is simply the platform in which this information is
Gonna be done.
problematic, and it starts with the human proclivity for trying to make this is where the problem starts.
All right. Let's move to our nugget of the week.
This is your nugget of the week.
All right. So
this is your gear grinding.
Yeah. So Wikipedia. So the European Union has this big deal where they want everybody to come up with an age verification process. It's a part of the online safety bill.
Mm-hmm.
Wikipedia says, forget it. We're not going to do it.
Okay.
Rebecca McKinnon of Wikipedia's foundation, which supports the website, says it would violate our commitment to collect minimal data about our readers and contributors. A senior figure in the UK fears the site could be blocked as a result, but the government says only services posing the highest risk to children will need age verification.
So this is
the first company.
This is Wikipedia saying
no.
We're not going to check ages because anybody should be able to access the information that we got.
That's correct.
Okay.
And we're not going to continue to the European Union's standard where any application that tells information that they have in the European Union mandate that they all have age verification. They're kind of giving the European Union kind of a middle finger in the nice way by saying
against this.
I'm totally for it. This is essentially information that should be there. We can't have always these government entities coming up with it's great that they come up with some policies and practices, but this is a perfect example of a nice way of saying, forget you in your policies. We're available for everybody.
Yeah,
we're not going to do that.
I was talking about earlier. This sort of echoes back to what is morality and who gets to determine what morality is.
Yeah. The foundation says that they will not comply because that will make their moderators of articles that are volunteers have to log in and provide information that they do not want.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's go to our pick of the day.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings. Let's see what bubbles to the top.
Old Granddad Bourbon, 80 proof, $16.99. You giving it a thumbs up or thumbs down, Mr. Gorday?
Getting a thumbs up for me.
Thumbs up. I'm giving it a thumbs up also. Odie, what'd you think?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Even though you were choking through the whole
Well, that's
episode?
because I choked it down.
She
So
did-
I'm not gonna. Somebody needs to tell me.
She took a shot.
She just, I don't know.
She's
slammed-
Jägermeister
she slammed
everything.
it.
She does that
She's
with
like,
every drink we
blam!
do. Yeah. Like I'm a youngin', so let me see
Yeah.
what I can do.
Bam,
All
when
right.
she's over there choking the whole segment.
Thank you very much. Hopefully you enjoyed our show. Make sure you visit us and give us a 5-star review. Remember, the science of tomorrow starts with the technology of today.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on Tech Time Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at Tech Time Radio, remember, Mumm's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.